in your hometown they were calling for better international access to Kerry Airport. Do you see that as pie in the sky, or is there any kind of supports that can be given?
Well, I was in Killarney yesterday at the launch of the Tourism Economic Impact Report, and it was a very positive document overall, and certainly some of the challenges, of course, have been pointed out. Kerry Airport are doing quite well in terms of product development. Just in November, for example, I was leading up a delegation to Berlin, the new route between Kerry and Berlin, which is a really positive one. As I said, in Berlin, it's really exciting to have a direct route into the powerhouse of Europe, and it's also great for the Kerry people to be able to fly to Berlin too. And the Berliners appreciated it, I think, the fact they have that direct access. We also have a Frankfurt route as well from Kerry. We have 2 London routes into Luton and Stansted. We have an Alicante route, which I think initially when it came on stream was seen as probably a predominantly outbound route, but is now very much an inbound route as well. A lot of Spanish people coming here, and we've seen an explosion in people coming from Spain to Ireland in recent years. And we also have a Faro route which is seasonal, that is still predominantly outbound. Northern UK is definitely a target for us. Potentially another German route would be one, and a French one, and that would be great if it happens. But thankfully as well, in recent weeks we've seen the extension of the Kerry-Dublin Public Service Obligation contract for 4 more years. So in 2011, my first meeting with any minister actually as a TD, just after being elected, was with Leo Varadkar, the new Minister for Transport, and on the agenda that day was trying to keep the PSO in place because it had been in the Board Snip-Newer report to be scrapped. And thankfully the Minister had the foresight to keep that in place, and again it survived the chop in 2014, and it has not only survived the chop, but it has got a 4-year extension now recently. And the key thing I suppose about the PSO is that what it does is it really protects the overall viability of Kerry Airport, allowing for all of those other routes to flourish. And with all of those other routes, there's a huge amount of economic activity in the county that just wouldn't be there otherwise only for the PSO. So when people look at the PSO simply on the cost per seat on the Kerry-Dublin route, well, I think they're looking at a very, very small piece of the picture. They need to look at the overall jigsaw to see actually just how much is generated as a result of that PSO, allowing the airport to remain more viable, and therefore allowing all those other routes to come in. And I worked in hospitality myself for a number of years. I was 7 years working in a hotel in Killarney, and then I had my own business for 3 years, where I used to meet a lot of tourists, and particularly when I was running my own place, I met a load of Germans, and I'd always I'd have a few words of German from school. It wouldn't be great now, but I'd be able to hold conversation. And it was in a pub as well, so you'd be surprised people's English gets away better when they've had a few pints on board. But I'd be speaking to the customers, and I'd ask them nearly always, why did you decide to come to Kerry? And nearly straight away, predominantly the answer would be the flights direct into Kerry. And people, accessibility dictates in an awful lot of cases where people go. They might always want to have come to Ireland to Kerry, but when they see direct routes in, that's their vehicle for travelling. So it's already doing quite well. The more routes, the merrier, absolutely. We were very fortunate to see Norwegian for the first time starting transatlantic flights from Cork last summer. And the last time if you left Cork for North America, you were going on the boat. It would have taken the best part of a week. It could have been about 50 years ago. Now we have flights direct into Providence, Rhode Island, and it's a great opportunity for the southwest as well. And Cork is 50 miles from Killarney as well, so in relation to Kerry we're quite well served, but look, always there's room for more, and certainly in relation to Cork, I know they're very ambitious, as are Shannon, about growing the routes, as every other airport around the country. Dublin is performing really, really well, but I think it would be really important if we could balance up some of the growth as well to ensure that there's a good regional spread in relation to where new routes are developed, and I think that by developing experiences like the Wild Atlantic Way, like Ireland's Ancient East, we can help create that demand for those routes as well, that the airlines will see it as being viable to come to the types of airports that I've just referred to.